Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. How do you deal with delays? Delays that mess up your day, delays that mess up your week, and even delays that might mess up your going home. How do you deal with those? As a driver, we constantly have to deal with delays. And we constantly have to just accept the fact that they're going to happen and there's nothing we can do about them. And that's what happened to me this week. Breaking down earlier in the week messed me up for getting to Florida. I got to Florida and got the load delivered, but I got unloaded too late in the day to get reloaded. Because most generally, if you're not unloaded by noon, you're not going to get a load for that day. With this being yesterday being Friday, that meant I'm not going to load till Monday. And that's what happened. I can't load till Monday. I'm getting ready to take off and go where I go to the shipper where I load at Monday, so I'll be there first in line for Monday morning. But I've come to look at delays as God is taking care of me and protecting me from an accident. Now, in the course of driving Thursday and Friday, I didn't see an accident. I did see one that caused a 2-hour, about an hour and a half backup, which made me almost late to get here to deliver yesterday afternoon, and I was only 20 miles away. I called him up and told him what was going on. In the middle of construction zone, and Florida gets some heavy downpours. A car had crashed and was up on its side, so you can imagine the backup. It just creeped along, and I kept thinking, this is great. 20 miles from where I got to deliver, and there's a good chance I could miss that and not even get unloaded till Monday. But luckily, I got here with 30 minutes to spare, and I got unloaded. And like I said earlier, now I'm getting ready to take off and head up to where I got to load at. But like I said before, I always look at those, and an older gentleman years ago told me, he said, just look at it as God taking care of you. He's protecting you from an accident or a mishap or something. He said it makes it a little bit easier to deal with a delay. Does it answer the question of why I'm delayed? Nah, doesn't do that. But it makes a little bit of sense. You know what I mean? Psalms, the 34th chapter, verse 7 says, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and rescue them. I guess that's pretty reassuring that Scripture tells us he camps around us, is going to make sure that we're taken care of. And another one in Psalms says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge, my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. So, again, another scripture that kind of makes it easier to understand delays. And the last one I want to read is Psalms 121, verses 7 and 8. The Lord will protect you from evil. He will keep your soul. The Lord will guard your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forever. So again, how do you look and how do you view delays? Do you get all, I mean, like I said, we're all human. We get irritated with the delay, especially if it messes something up. Because I had planned on being home next week. Well, the load that they had, when you go to Florida, you kind of pretty well got to take what they offer because there's not a lot of choice down here. So now I'm going to go to San Antonio, Texas, which is it's not such a bad area. It's just so far from my house to San Antonio that getting home by next weekend is going to be a little bit difficult. Unless they got something going straight to St. Louis or like that. I'm not holding much hope in getting home next weekend. But that's just part of trucking, and you learn over the years to deal with it. I mean, luckily I don't have a doctor's appointment or something like that. It's just time to go home. But I like the fact that these passages said that they're going to protect me. They talk about evil, protecting me from evil, which is Satan. So, like I said before, we can look at delays of one of two ways. God's protecting us from an accident, which, kind of makes it sound okay, but it's still a delay. Or, more importantly, we can look at it as the scriptures say, and while, especially this 121, the Lord will protect you from evil, and he will keep your soul. So he's my protector. He's my shield against Satan. And that's what I'm getting at this morning. That all through life, all through each and every day, as believers, God has put a hedge around us, and he's protecting us from Satan and what he's wanting to do for us. Now, again, it falls back to we have choice, and we make a choice as to whether or not to allow God to protect us or go against what he's trying to protect us from and go off on our own merry little way and get into trouble. That's on us. But the passages are telling us that he is protecting us. So why not get comfortable in the bosom of his hand and and let him protect us, let him lead us, and life will be a lot easier. There's a few, really wasn't much I could do Thursday morning to change the outcome for the accident. Friday morning for the delay on the accident. First off, I didn't know I was going to get caught up in an accident, so there was no way for, when I stopped earlier, instead of sitting for an hour, I should have only sat for 30 minutes, and I would have missed the accident at the end of the day. I had no way of knowing that. So I just go about living my day as best I can, allowing as best I can to God to lead, guide, and protect me. And whatever happens, happens. And I try to deal with it as the best I can. And that's all we can do. But remember this last verse, and I'm going to read it again because I like it so much. The Lord will protect you from evil, from all evil. He will keep your soul. The Lord will guard your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forever.